Let's be honest, in this age of AI and just constant disruption, the old leadership playbooks, they're pretty much obsolete. So, how do you really lead, when the ground is always shifting under your feet? Well, today, we're going to dive into how to rewire our leadership, starting from the inside out.
You know that feeling, right? It's a feeling most leaders are all too familiar with. Disruption isn't just some buzzword anymore. It's our daily reality. And the pressure to find the right answer, the perfect strategy, it's immense. You know that feeling, right? It's a feeling most leaders are all too familiar with. Disruption isn't just some buzzword anymore. It's our daily reality. And the pressure to find the right answer, the perfect strategy, it's immense. But it really makes you wonder, in this frantic search, where are we actually looking?
Well, we tend to look outward, don't we? We chase the latest management fad, the hot new framework, that one shiny new model that promises to solve everything. It's just this exhausting, endless cycle, always searching for a fix that's somewhere out there. And that, right there, brings us to the real heart of the problem we're exploring today. What if this constant outward search is the very thing holding us back? What if we're just searching in the wrong place? And here's the big pivot, the key insight. What if the answer isn't another external model? What if the most lasting transformation doesn't come from some new process, but from a whole new perspective? The real rewiring begins inside. See, this shifts our entire focus. Instead of desperately looking for a map, we realize we need to build a better internal compass. The real path forward, it's a journey within.
And let's be really clear about this. This is not about learning another complex methodology to roll out on Monday morning. It's about remembering something way more fundamental, a forgotten way of being that taps into our core human abilities to navigate all this uncertainty.
So if the journey is inward, what does that actually look like in practice? Well, our source material gives us a pretty powerful internal toolkit for this work. It's called the 7C's of leadership.
Now, these aren't just buzzwords you can stick on a poster. You should really think of them as 7 recurring habits, 7 core capabilities that the most adaptive and successful leaders are cultivating for real long-term success.
So here on the screen, you can see the whole framework laid out. And as you can see, these aren't just isolated traits. They actually form this interconnected system. Think of them as the building blocks for what the source calls an evolutionary leader, someone who's truly ready for any challenge. So let's break them down one by one. Okay, it all kicks off with curiosity. This is really the engine of all progress. It's that leadership muscle that just refuses to accept easy answers. And it loves to push past that old phrase, "we've always done it this way." A curious leader today asks, how can this new AI tool fundamentally change all our assumptions? Next up, you've got courage. In a world that is just soaked in uncertainty, this is all about choosing movement over comfort. It's about acting without a perfect plan and taking a step forward even when the path is still forming in front of you. It's launching that pilot project before all the data is in, because you know that waiting means you're already falling behind. Then we have compassion. The source calls this precision with heart, which I love. It's the ability to lead people through really difficult transitions with dignity. It's what allows a leader to announce a tough reorganization with both total clarity and genuine humanity, building trust right when it's needed the most.
And then there's continuity. This is the C that actually makes change stick. It's all about integrating learning into your daily practice, making sure that transformation isn't just some one-time event, but a sustained evolution. It's what turns the big, scary idea of transformation into a series of small, consistent, manageable actions.
The 5th C is collective. And this is where leadership really becomes a team sport, shifting from that old top-down control to more of an orchestration. The leader becomes a conductor, not a king, and their job is to draw out the absolute best ideas from every part of the system, to solve problems that no single person ever could on their own.
Underpinning this whole thing is consciousness. This starts with self-awareness. Awareness of our own biases, our patterns, our knee-jerk reflexes. It's what allows us to respond intentionally instead of just repeating the past. It reminds us that leadership is really energy before it's ever strategy. I mean, how can we possibly lead others if we don't first understand ourselves? And finally, confidence. Now, this isn't about ego, not at all. It's a deep, grounded self-trust that comes from really knowing your values. It's that quiet inner strength that allows a leader to say, you know what, I don't know the answer, but I trust that we can figure this out together. It's what keeps the human spirit alive in all of this. Okay, so we have these 7 incredibly powerful habits, but what happens when a leader truly embodies them? Well, the impact goes way beyond just one person. The entire organization starts to shift, moving from a rigid hierarchy to a living, breathing ecosystem.
When these C's really take root, something pretty incredible starts to happen. The organization itself starts to evolve. It becomes more adaptive, more purposeful, and way more resilient. It literally becomes a living system.
Just look at this comparison. I mean, in the old model, people wait for permission, teams are always reacting to crises. But in this rewired model, people start sensing what's needed. Teams stop just fighting fires and they start shaping new possibilities. The whole dynamic just changes.
And this brings us to a final, really profound paradox of leading in this hyper-fast age. It requires something our source calls the pause before the leap.
Just think about that for a second. The faster the world spins, the more still we must become. As technology accelerates at this breakneck speed, our greatest strength becomes our ability to come back to these timeless human qualities, things like presence, integrity, and connection.
See, the ultimate question really isn't about technology. It's not about whether AI is going to change everything, because let's face it, we know it will. It already has. The real, and frankly far more important question is this.
Will we change? Will we do the internal work required to evolve alongside the very technology we've created? The machines are learning exponentially. The question is, are we?
And so, that really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. With all this external pressure to perform and compete and accelerate, it's probably worth pausing to ask ourselves, which game are we really trying to win?